If you really think about it, it actually makes a lot of sense as to why Donald Trump would want to bring back the presidential fitness test. Because what does that man want more in this world than a bunch of kids working on touching their toes?
You've been worried about Gen Z, Gen Alpha shifting more right on the political spectrum. Don't worry, because the Trump administration just fucked that up.
That executive order will be focused on strengthening athletics in our country and making America healthy again. And we are going to re-implement the presidential fitness test in America's schools, which is, I think, something all Americans can get behind. So you'll hear from the president in 2 hours, and we will see you all there. Thank you.
And here's what the test looks like. Participants must at least reach these levels in all 5 events in order to qualify for the Presidential Physical Fitness Award. Here's just a brief summary of what's included in the test. First, have curl-ups or partial curl-ups, shuttle run along with shuttle run testing, endurance in running and walking. You got pull-up testing and the V-sit reach or sit and reach. And all I gotta say is I am extremely grateful to have graduated as an older Gen Z in 2019. I'm also just curious if this is by voluntary basis or if this is by force that schools have to implement this, considering they want to get rid of the Department of Education. Not that this is even really comparable, but it's almost like when Michelle Obama took away unhealthy foods from schools when I was in school. That shit was ass. I'd be pissed right now if I was Gen Alpha, and arguably more so. I wouldn't want to do that shit in middle school in front of my classmates.
What's that? Yeah, I heard about it. I heard about how the presidential fitness test is back, and
nothing against it, but she's about to drop some knowledge on us while coloring.
Of course, the captain of the Slowpoke Run Club has some thoughts. Don't get me wrong. I am all for physical fitness. I am all for physical health. But what I'm not for is traumatizing children.
Oh, okay.
Because raise your hand if you were personally...
Hey, instead of saying traumatizing, this is such a hater. Maybe she could call it traumatizing people.
Traumatized by the presidential fitness test in like the 80s and 90s, because I know I sure was. The way when I knew that test was coming, I would stress out for a month about whether or not I was going to be able to run a full mile. If you've been around here for any length of time, you know how that story went. The only part of the presidential fitness test I could knock out with no problem was the flexibility portion. The embarrassment I felt every year hanging on a bar in front of my peers, not being able to do a pull-up or a chin-up. I don't know. I'm probably doing these the opposite way. You know what I mean? Clearly, I'm not presidentially fit. I'm more like the vice president of leisure, really. These like annual fitness tests, the more I think about it, the more I realize what really bothers me about them is that they're not encouraging fitness. They're encouraging anxiety around fitness. And if you want to teach kids a love of movement, if you want to teach kids a love of being strong and using their bodies for all the things they are capable of, call me crazy, but as somebody who lived it and has many people here who would probably tell you the same story, I don't know that making them do a test in front of their peers as to how physically fit they are by the presidential standards, how you encourage a lifelong love of fitness and respect for your physical body. And
what's up, guys? You're watching On Air Nick Driver podcast here on YouTube. Guys, please like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and you'll be notified of all my upcoming video releases. Guys, liberals are melting down because Donald Trump has signed into effect the presidential fitness test for kids between 6 and 17 years old. Guys, this is not a military type test. This is very not very strenuous activity to keep kids walking, guys. I understand that some people might have actual, health issues, but this is one thing that is actually good for kids. I get it. There's some people that get anxiety, but, looking at people actually getting angry at Donald Trump for bringing back into school actual physical fitness is hilarious to me. There's a saying amongst all circles of people that are independent and conservative leaning, and anyone really with a brain on the left. And it says basically, if Donald Trump cured cancer, everyone on the left, not everyone, but a lot of these leftists that hate his guts would just, they'd be angry at him for curing cancer. This is one of those moments. I never thought I would live to see a day where liberals are upset over a physical fitness award test. This does not affect kids' actual grade in U.S. schools. It is a piece of paper you get that says, here is your presidential fitness award. You know, it's just funny to me, man. There is nothing this dude can do. Nothing this dude can do to make these people happy, bro. Nothing he can do, right? Guys, check out this next lunatic right here, guys.
Okay, so the news has broken, right? That Donald Trump plans on bringing back the Lyndon B. Johnson ridiculousness, whatever, fitness test, presidential fitness test. First and foremost, I thought, because I had a video ready, my mouth was ready to go. It's not a physical fitness test for the president of the United States. Because let's be clear, that man won't go anywhere near something like that with his cankles and his like skin that's falling off and his catheter and his, you know, COPD or whatever the fuck he has, right? Whatever he got. I think he got syphilis. Whatever it is, he would never pass that, okay? 6'3" and 250 pounds in his leg, in his ankle. Okay, I digress. What it is, do you remember, I'm 44. So do you remember when we had to compete in school during physical fitness? We had to compete, like, who could do the most push-ups, who could do the most sit-ups, who could run the mile the fastest, who could do all that bullshit. It's like basically military style, basic boot camp style shit to make kids more competitive in school, right? Also to keep them fit. That's what it is. That's what it is. Believe you me, when I first got, I was about to get on here and run my mouth. And then I went and listened. It's not that. It's not, the president is not taking a physical fitness test. That would be fucking newsworthy, right?
I can't watch some of these people anymore. Guys, life's hard. If you are traumatized by, you know, not being able to do a pull-up, then you know what, you have lived a very sheltered life. And, you know, I just, you know, it's crazy to me. It blows my mind that these types of people even exist in the world due to the fact of, you know what, it's just a piece of paper. It does not affect your grade. These people hate this dude so much. They are now bitching about physical fitness and physical activity. If you sit out, you don't have a participation. You're going to fail, man. It's that simple. You know what, guys? It blows my mind, man. It's crazy out here. It's crazy. It's crazy. Who would have thought that these progressive liberals would be upset at Donald Trump? Because you know why? He doesn't want kids to be obese and overweight. And he wants them to be healthy. Absolutely crazy, man. Who would have thought? Physical fitness test is such a... sweating is a microaggression, guys. Hey, maybe these progressives could identify as already fit. Maybe they could do that, man. Guys, have a blessed day.